Welcome to Women Talking Tech, the sassy, opinionated, always irreverent look at what's happening in tech and social media.
Welcome to Women Talking Tech, episode 37, the sassy, irreverent, and always opinionated views of technology, social media, and what's going on. I'm Margaret Reynolds of iTech Global Media, and here with my co-host, Bonnie Sainsbury. Go ahead, Bonnie.
Bonnie Sainsbury, social media smarter. Let me manage your social ecosystem.
And I'm Mary Kane, and I'm from Blogsite Studio, helping people take control of their web presence one site at a time.
And if you're in Vancouver, Mary, aren't you going to be speaking at a meetup?
Yes, I have a meetup to speak at, the YVR meetup, YVR bloggers at, let's see, that's next Thursday, February 13th. I'll be talking about WordPress. And at the Vancouver Business Network on the 18th, and that is going to be about WordPress.
There you go.
Yep.
Excellent. So, lots of things going on lately. One of the things is Facebook turned 10.
Yay!
Exactly. It's like, it doesn't really seem like it's that long, but I guess it has. So they've been, released this wonderful feature of you can create your video of your last 10 years. Lame. I'm just going to say lame.
Lame.
How they figure out that's the things that have been going on in our post, it's just, yeah, I won't be posting. Apparently they're going to be offering you the ability to edit it, so if you really have the care to want to bother to go do that, you might be able to actually turn it into something that might be entertaining, but really, does it really matter?
Okay, so I want to jump in here because yesterday or the day before, I put out a little message that said, I'm really enjoying your 10-year video. I probably would have cared more if you had posted more than once every 10 years.
Meow.
Okay,
does that qualify as a video?
But I mean, we've got if you're using Facebook to show pictures of your kitty and your grandchildren and all of that, then that's cool. And I probably don't have you amongst my friends, maybe one or two that I care about, but other than that, it's mostly business acquaintances. And these people are pretending to be business acquaintances, and that's what they're using Facebook for. But they're not posting. They pop up and promote something and then disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I'm the spirit of true engagement.
Mm-hmm.
So is that social? No. It's a press release.
That's right.
They do only pop up when they want to sell promote something. Generally, get their feed volume turned way down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be on there all the time, but truly, it's supposed to be social.
Isn't it kind of funny? It's like only 20% of anything you're doing, in social media should be promotion and selling, and the 80 be the engagement social.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I just
yeah.
Well, what do you think about what they say? They're saying that the kids, the teenagers, are leaving Facebook in droves, and who's left? Oldies like us.
Yeah, old people. But
what are we doing there?
I don't have an issue with teenagers leaving.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know how many of them are, but truly, there's more old people than there are anything else. So.
Well, I saw a video about what you're going to stay for on Facebook, and one important feature I noticed is the birthday function. I mean, how else are you going to remember your friends' birthdays?
You got it.
And events and things like that. Not that always is appropriate, but there's a lot of things it does that. And it's a great messaging system. People, I don't email people as much. I just go on Facebook and message them.
Yep.
So for older folks like us, it's still good.
And it's another way to stay in touch with people,
Sure. Yeah.
right? I mean,
I always love it when people go, "Oh, you did this and this and this," and I'm thinking, "When did I tell you that?"
Yeah.
Oh, right. You read the Facebook. Yeah.
that's right. So, yeah.
So thank you, Facebook.
Margaret, are you back, Margaret? We lost Margaret just.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
She'll find her way back.
She'll be back. So I guess the other big news is that Microsoft has a new CEO. And
cool.
surprise, surprise, he has a lot of he's been with the company for 20 or 30 years, an engineer, and has a lot of mobile. Yeah. So it would make a lot of sense that any company these days recruiting senior management, it would have to be mobile.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and they also, I guess we wait and see what his, what his style is and what kind of changes. I've always been a fan of Windows 8. I saw it and I just went nuts because I understood. I think I understand where they're going, and the fact that even that they have a touch screen is so far ahead of everybody else that, and the fact that you can have now your desktop, your laptop, your phone, and your tablet all running the same OS. I don't know. I think it's a big deal. I don't like it to be exactly the same. I think they should make some. Anyway, it's version 1, so there we go. And I was on Facebook this morning with a little bit of a tiff with someone that I actually respect a lot, who put up something about, a joke about
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. First day back, he spent all of this time installing 8.1. That's mean, and it adds to the myth that operating system is bad, which is not the truth. And in fact, 8.1 and 8.1 have more, a larger percentage of the desktop market than all of Apple, OS X or OS 10, whatever it is. So Apple is like 7 point something, and the 2 versions of Windows 8, and I don't know why they don't put them together, because 8.1 is not a new, it's just an update. All they did was make a couple of changes for people who can't figure out to click on an icon instead of text. So I don't understand why they don't count them together. But anyway, so it's
people are just reluctant to try anything new. They get used to their operating system and they freak out of anything new. But then once you get used to it, it's fine. So just get over it, people.
There are some annoying things, but that's not one of them. And the search function makes it so much faster to find things than digging through menus and whatever. You just go down to the bottom left-hand corner and you start keying in search. It'll find files. It finds anything that's on your computer. And I think it goes out to the internet too with Bing. I just use it to find things on my computer. So it'll find files. I don't dig through my picture files anymore. I just remember the part of the file name, and it finds it for me.
Excellent.
So,
yep.
Anyway, Foursquare. I
don't use it.
Yeah, I know.
It's interesting because you used to always see on Twitter and other things, people logging in or posting about Foursquare. Haven't seen boo about it in many, many months now. So much you even kind of forget it exists.
Right.
But apparently they're just getting some funding.
Yes, thank goodness we're not cross-posting. I am the mayor of the.
Oh, I hate
Yes,
that.
I know.
I'm at. As if I care where you're at.
The only
Exactly.
one that I will tolerate is checking in at an airport. I don't
Yeah,
know
well,
why.
there's
But I do.
there's an occasionally if I'm at an event or at our airport or going somewhere where I will check in through Facebook. But most
Yeah,
of the time, people don't need to know where I am.
yeah.
It's like I'd rather they don't.
And it's sort of a game, isn't it? That
Yeah.
you go there and you claim the spot and you say, I'm the
Well,
mayor, and
it's not just the game because it's like I know people that traveled a lot, and if they were at a different city and checked in, then they could see who they were connected to on Foursquare that was in that city and possibly set up meetings with them. So I mean, there was some functionality for certain demographics of people, but I think for the general public, telling me that you're the mayor of the liquor store just tells me you buy a lot of alcohol.
exactly. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's not.
It's like too much. There's just too much information, and I'm glad I haven't seen it. I saw one recently. I'm at something something, and I thought, wow, I haven't seen that in a while. But I'm glad. I'm glad not to see that.
So I
So
think what they're looking for is the location technology.
yeah,
Mhm.
so
That's
it's
what
not as much
Microsoft.
Foursquare is going to be promoted as they're going to be using the technology in other ways to annoy us.
That's right.
That's right.
We can't win.
I
Yeah.
know. So we sort of done Microsoft. So they're in mobile, which everybody better be in mobile these days, right?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Well, I think some of the good news is here's another one we haven't heard of in months. Pinterest. Everybody remember Pinterest? It was the big flavor of the month last year, and now all of a sudden it's like, who talks about Pinterest anymore? But at least they're doing one thing smart is they've upgraded their user acceptable use policy, and they're banning people from buying pins and followers. I wish Twitter would do this. If you want to know if somebody actually has any value and has some followers, it's like you want to kind of know that they've built them up old-fashioned way by hard work like Bonnie's done, rather than somebody that has tweeted 3 times and has 10,000 followers. It's like, really?
and there are there are utilities out there that you can use to evaluate someone's Twitter.
Oh, what are they?
Their Twitter follower. I don't remember the name of it, but there's one. There was one last year that would tell you how many spammers you have.
Oh,
And if
wow.
you, most of the Twitter utilities that will evaluate your own Twitter account will tell you will give you a good idea of who your Twitter.
Yeah, a lot of them will
is.
do that.
Yeah. And the other thing is you should be checking your own analytics. Buffer, I love Buffer. How many retweets you have, mentions, click-throughs, and favorites. Lots of people are now favoriting tweets, and that's the same as a
bookmark.
Bookmark,
yeah.
right. I've been getting a lot of those lately.
Yeah. And the other thing Buffer did just in the last week or so is now they send you an email. They had this before where they sent you a week, your weekly analytics and whether or not you're up and down for retweets or clicks and I find that really useful. So, yeah. Yay,
Interesting.
Buffer.
Yeah. I tried their trial offer on the business plan. It was nice, but I let it go.
I did too. I thought $25 was a bit high.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay that much money. If I was a big business, I could understand it. I would definitely do it if I had, a stronger business. But
I do pay so that we can have more than one account or more than 3 accounts, and
to be able to post more.
Be able to post ahead of time.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. That's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Especially when when we're monitoring or
Teams,
managing other people's social media.
I still think it's the best. I don't know why you would use anything else, and I've tried a ton of them. And
You know,
make
there's
it,
always going to be different strokes for different folks, and that's fine. So one of the stories that we've been following and keep bringing up, and we've got a little update on it, is net neutrality.
oh yeah.
So what's the latest, Bonnie?
Well, Verizon has been accused of throttling back Netflix.
Yeah, they've almost kind of busted themselves after the FCC. They said there wasn't going to be doing that, and then somebody went, "Wait a minute, I'm noticing a big difference." Talked to customer service, and they said, "Oh yeah, we do that." And then the official company
wow.
line is, "No, we don't."
So yeah, so
Yikes.
they're when they busted net neutrality, they were supposed to inform their customers, so they haven't done that. That's interesting. And there was this week I saw an item that said, obviously the FCC is going to go after them again to reinstate net neutrality. It has to. There's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the only thing that makes sense. So let's hope that definitely happens.
Well, I think it's going to happen in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got to.
Yep. So the other thing that happened yesterday, actually, the notice that Sony is going to be exiting the PC industry. They're going to sell the Vio division, and they're going to be laying off 5,000 people.
Wow, and it's also spin out of the TV business.
Yeah.
That's big news because I mean, Sony TVs for the long time were a great brand, and they're getting out of that.
Yeah, that's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the Sony has a DSLR camera that has been getting an awful lot of press lately, but I don't think a company that big can exist on, like camera technology. Oh, that being said, I guess Nikon does. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. They're obviously bleeding money, otherwise they wouldn't. There's, I don't know if you take coffee shop, who has who in a coffee shop. I see a lot of Vios in public.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then I see a lot of Apple, and I see a lot of Apple products in.
So it looks like Lenovo might be interested in buying it.
So yeah, Lenovo is pretty much buying up everything. They bought the ThinkPad from IBM a while ago, and I think they're like number 1 or number 2 PC maker in the world, Chinese company. And they just recently bought Motorola Mobile. So, interesting.
So it looks like they might spin off the TV brand into a wholly owned subsidiary later on this year.
Well, truly, how can they make money? I don't own a TV. The only monitors, things I have is the monitor.
Well, they're going to be
computer,
focusing. They're going to be focusing on high-end products in like the 4,000 up range. So. And it looks like some of this too, some maybe really focused on their local Japanese markets. We might not be seeing as much as Sony here.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I don't know.
It's going to be interesting to see what other companies are going to be evolving and more localizing as well.
So most of the people that I know that have a TV, they keep saying sports. That's why we have a TV. So, because other than that, they're watching it through the internet. They may be, physically displaying it on a TV if they have a TV that does that. But yeah, more people on Netflix and Hulu and now I think it's CTV streams programs about 2 days after they're live.
Wasn't there even Shaw has a Shaw Local or Shaw Go app so you can watch on your smartphone and tablet. So it's
right. So you have to be Shaw TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, too, it's like if I have a 50-inch TV, do I really want to watch a TV show on my tablet?
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
like, no.
I don't know. I don't have a 50-inch TV. The cat and I would have to move out. So.
Well, we only bought a huge TV. It's only a 40-inch. It came just at the time that the Canucks were in the playoffs. So it was for watching better hockey, purely.
Right. Yeah. What else do we have that's new?
Well, Twitter's shares
yeah.
just fell 21% after slower growth in user numbers. Looks like they reported a net loss of $645 million for 2013. But apparently also too that wasn't completely unexpected. So they're saying timeline views are down nearly 7%, suggesting that users were refreshing their feeds less often.
Wow.
So I think but also as as social media, programs and different things become kind of more mature market. I mean, are people as hot to trot as they were before, or is it just kind of settling down a little bit?
Well, I see. Okay, I mean, obviously, I see a window that I created, and it's business people, thought leaders. That's who I pay attention to. And those people are still there. And I see Twitter and Google Plus, the messages on Twitter and Google Plus being more business-like, more, I hate to use the word serious, but I think that's what it is, more focused than on Facebook. So I often see the same reaction, the same engagement on Google Plus and on Twitter to a story. So I think that's what's happening, and then on Facebook they just ignore it, or the other way around. Something that's quite popular on Facebook, that's a business-oriented story, Twitter people just don't care.
So it says they bring in their 90% of the revenue came in from advertising. It's like, do you ever really pay attention to Twitter advertising?
No, but
and I guess it's it's where advertisers pay to have their tweets promoted to appear in your timeline. So it is subtle advertising, I guess, in a way.
And has anybody taken a look at the new Twitter API, the new Twitter your Twitter homepage?
Oh yeah, because it's supposed to be more mobile friendly. And interesting, they said 3/4 of their advertising income comes from mobile platforms.
Right.
Mobile is key. We all know that.
So what mobile app do you use for Twitter?
I like the Hootsuite app. I'm going to try the new Twitter one and check it out. But I've tried a few different ones, and I like the Hootsuite mobile app.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. I forget what it's even Echo phone.
So you haven't tried Echo.
So nobody's even heard of that except me. I think that is what it's called. And actually, it allows me to. I'm just trying to find it now. The display is not. I don't like TweetDeck if they even have one anymore. And
I was using theirs. I found it really slow to load, so that's why I got rid of it.
It just didn't work. It was the big, the desktop version scrunched down. Oh, I don't even have it on this one. So I must be using Twitter on this, and I tried another thing. Oh, I used Tweetings, which I paid $1.99 for. It's okay. I'm more interested in being able to tweet than to watch things. If I'm going to watch my Twitter stream, I have a tablet rather than my phone. I use my phone to tweet if I'm at an event, and that's about the only time I tweet, or if I want to whine at TransLink.
Yeah, well, if I'm on transit, then I may that's probably where I'm going to be likely going to do some browsing on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah. I still think Twitter is valuable, and it's also where I get most of my engagement that actually goes somewhere, that means
It's the
somewhere.
it's the same thing as any kind of networking, type of thing, whether it's in person or online. It's you got to work it to make it work.
Right.
That's right.
And I do, so I schedule. Of course, I schedule, and then I go in and check 3 or 4 times a day. And anybody who interacts with me, I interact back with them. So, yeah. I don't think it has to be in 15 minutes. I truly don't believe that. Some people maybe have time to do that. I don't.
Interesting. So I just got an email. Oops.
Whoa.
Late breaking news. Clout just launched something completely different.
Oh, really?
The new Clout. So they're saying that not only help you measure your influence, but increase it. So the new version was developed with one simple truth in mind: the best way to make an impact online is to share great content. So I just went on there, and now they are measuring and tracking your impact, and they will give you a 90-day score and a network breakdown.
Oh.
So it's kind of interesting. So this, it says my Clout network was on 2% because I haven't been doing anything on Clout. LinkedIn is only 5%, Twitter 65%, and Facebook 28% for my Facebook page.
Wow.
So that's kind of interesting. So we'll have to go in there and check that out more and talk about that more next week after we've kind of examined that a bit. But I guess you can even now schedule from Clout.
Oh.
So that's interesting.
Okay. I didn't take it seriously. I got it up to 70-something, and it sort of falls back, and then.
Yeah, I haven't been on Clout really in ages. It seemed to. It's again one of those things. It was kind of like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Then it's like, Clout, what's that?
I know.
So.
Yeah.
So maybe everybody else is doing that, and Clout realized, ooh, we better do something, or nobody's going to remember who we are.
Clout perks. And
yeah, I've had a bunch of free stuff that Clout sent me, so which is was always kind of nice. If you're going to send me free stuff, I'll take that.
Everybody was driving around a Cadillac for the weekend, and just lately, I think it was Chevrolet. You could have a Chevy for 2 days.
See, I was getting, like skincare products, cleaners, but yeah, I got a lot of moisturizers and all sorts of things like that.
So it isn't really representative of someone who is really active on social. Because I have more than one blog. It only allows you one blog. There's other channels that I'm active on that they don't even recognize. And truly, you can game the system. And anytime you can game the system, all you do is, if your Clout score falls, just phone some of your friends or message them and say, give me a K+, and it goes back up. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out.
It's interesting that they are at least trying to bring some life back into it.
Yeah. So Peer Index, I think, is probably better. It's not as well known.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, see, lots of people don't. And I think it's probably more representative. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So always going to be new things, or the last gasp of something old before it finally dies.
Yeah,
that's right.
I guess we'll see. So for something completely different, YouTube has a new CEO,
and she's a girl. We like that.
Indeed. So a woman. Google employee number 16. If you've ever worked in tech, your employee number that's your badge of courage, your status. You may be the mail boy, But if you have employee number 10 or anything under 100, I mean, that gives you an awful lot of status, and she is Google number 16.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she came from AdWords. So, yeah,
So expect more advertising coming from Google?
think so. Yes. And I think the fellow who used to be in moved over to mobile, if I remember correctly. But anyway,
So you really think online? I mean, I always find this fascinating. Is like advertisers. I mean, of course, that's what makes the world go around and keeps the money coming in. But is it really working online? It's like I really wonder about that, because I was just reading earlier, like the New York Times, of course, gone mostly to the online model because nobody's reading or buying a subscription to a newspaper anymore. So there seems subscriber base going up for their online, but they're still seeing ad revenue dropping continuously.
Mhm.
yeah, people expect free,
Yeah, they do.
don't they?
That's the
I mean,
problem.
Yeah, and do ads really influence that much anymore? As you know, because I don't know, just seems we get bombarded by so much information these days.
And
I,
sometimes you don't know where the information stops and the advertising starts.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
it's easy to tune it out.
I think maybe if I'm looking specifically for something anyway, if I've already made the decision to look for hosting or whatever it is, a new vacuum, although probably I wouldn't be served with those particular ads. But say if I was looking for hosting, then depending on where I was and how much, I trusted the the blogger or the owner of the site would be whether or not I trusted the ad.
Mm.
So, yeah,
Hmm.
I'm all about word of mouth. That is probably
Word of mouth is huge. It's like, yeah, I think that in ways, word of mouth and local referrals are more important than who's on the first page of Google.
yeah. I doubt that. I don't even remember the last time I saw something that was not on my radar at all, and I thought, oh, I have to have it because I saw an ad for it.
Mm-hmm.
But in fact, more often than not, I've searched for something or I've been on a website that shoes or whatever it is I'm looking for, and then of course Google serves you those ads for some period of time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's the other way around rather than me seeing something new.
Yeah, but definitely it's certainly more focusing on mobile, which the new Microsoft CEO is going to be focusing on as well.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get their staff to reimagine the mobile world, which I wonder how much of that will include in the next few years, augmented reality.
Mm.
Yep. Oh yeah, augmented reality. I mean, that's the ultimate ad.
Yep, I can see it coming, and we're going to be talking more about that in the future. And yeah, it's just that is going to be a game changer for businesses and
Well,
really
and
blow
that's
things
what
out of the water.
That's what Microsoft is. You could argue that's where Microsoft is going with Foursquare, which is location based.
Yeah.
And I know that simplifies
Well, same
augmented
thing with Google for
reality.
Google Glass as well. So.
Right. So, and talking about Google, did you see the new Google Watch, whatever it's called?
Mm-hmm.
So, I've been going, I don't wear a watch until I saw the Google one yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty.
Mm-hmm. I would wear it.
Enough to make you change your mind?
I think it might, yeah. And since I'm Android anyway, I mean, let's face it, all these things is just another display, so that you don't have to get your
Tablet out of your pocket,
whatever
yeah.
out of your pocket. But it is quite cool. And
It's a lazy society.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting. There was a post, I don't know if it came out yet on our on Women Talking Tech on Twitter or not, but even Steve Wozniak was saying that Apple should do Android.
Really?
Yeah, nobody really sees it happening, but it was quite interesting to hear the Woz say that.
Uh-huh. How funny.
Well, when was it? Yesterday. No, day before yesterday. I actually touched an Apple product. I was out with a friend of mine.
Did you wash your hands after?
And well, as an ex-client, and she has an iPad, and so we were looking for something. Oh, I know, she was looking for a browser and couldn't find one, a browser icon on her iPad. It was brand new.
Mm.
Her other one had been stolen, so she'd only had this for a couple of days. And surprisingly, it sort of looks like Android.
Well, they're really not that much different. I mean,
there was the settings. I mean, it was almost exactly the same.
well,
So
that's
I
the
didn't
thing.
see the
You know,
difference.
the latest iOS operating system does have some Android-esque features.
Well, yeah, because in the past, if you'd handed me an Apple product, I would have, just been going crazy because I couldn't find anything. But this was almost exactly like Android. I mean, it was a piece of cake.
Yeah, that's kind of my comment after I saw the latest
Okay.
operating system. My Apple fanboy was showing me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've had that for a while on my phone.
But yeah, I know. It's so. And it was interesting that somewhere buried in the Sony, all the news about Sony was that at some point it was reported that at some point Steve Jobs wanted OS. Is it OS X? Is that how you say it, or is it OS 10?
Either one.
Okay, so OS X, Steve Jobs wanted it on Sony PCs. So that went absolutely. That was a revelation to me, because, of course, the operating system runs on Apple hardware. It's always been, this whole closed ecosystem. So anyway, the other thing that I thought was interesting is Brian Solis, who is a writer, a tech writer for the New York Times, and has his own business. I forget what the name of his company, but he's the person that I rely on for future, for what's coming. And lately he's been talking about Apple a lot. And one of the things that he said was that Apple had a 4-year technology window left that was a legacy of Steve Jobs, and so now they're going to have to come up with new things on their own. So
it's true.
Yeah. Anyway, all very interesting. I'm starting to get a little bit of pushback as being an Apple hater, but that's not true. I'm just I only go after them when it's outrageous. I mean, it was reported that they have 25% of the market, and I didn't know what market it was. And in order to get to that number, which I know isn't true, they had to take iOS sales, iPad sales, and desktop or PC sales, and add them together. Why would you do that? It just makes absolutely no sense, except that you wanted a higher number. So, anyway, I got my backup. About that. Anyway, so there you go. Other than that, it was a slow week.
Hey, do you guys want to talk about the Olympics?
Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna have to. Sorry, I'm gonna have to go. I have to make a call. Sorry.
Oops.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. See you guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. So let's talk about the Olympics.
Well, I just was reading Huffington, and apparently, apparently, as soon as these journalists get to Sochi, they find that they're immediately hacked. As soon as they are on their phones or any device, they're getting suspicious behavior. And now, apparently, it comes out that there are surveillance cameras inside their hotel rooms. And so somebody came out and said, oh, you know, these journalists are just turning the showers on and leaving them running. And we know because there's cameras in the bath.
I know.
I have to say, so it's starting. It's starting now. It's the official thing is tomorrow, but apparently events are starting today. I think this Olympics is going to be pretty interesting for all those reasons. You know, not just the gays and not just the the creepiness of Russia, but you know these security, the hacking, the cybersecurity problems, and it doesn't seem to matter to old Putin. I mean, he's getting what he wants, so pretty interesting.
Is he?
I think so. Yeah, you know.
See, I'm not a big Olympics fan, truly. When they were in Vancouver, I was not excited until they got here, and then I got involved. I have to say, it was amazing. I did the only official events that I went to was sledge hockey at UBC. I went to 2 or 3. I think so. I went to the semifinals and the finals.
Oh, you mean the Paralympics?
Paralympics, yeah.
Cool.
And other than that, I watched hockey from a bar. Every single hockey game, I think, from a bar. And I have to admit, I enjoyed it. It was fun. We were out and about. We blogged the whole time out of the fence, and we had a great time. I was out, I think, probably every day at something that wasn't inside the fence, and I enjoyed it. It was good. It was good for Vancouver, and really. There was one nasty event. I was stuck downtown when the drunks sort of took over everything. I was in a bus that was almost tipped over.
Oh my God!
I know.
Jeez.
By drunks.
Oh no.
And, but soon after that, like the same day, the liquor stores and the liquor takeouts stopped selling at 6 o'clock or whatever, and I was downtown the next day, and there weren't any issues.
Yeah.
So I have to admit that I enjoyed it. Other than hockey, I didn't watch any of the sports. I was there because it was fun and we were having a good time. So ordinarily, I don't watch Olympics, so I probably won't watch this one. But I was interested in the hacking.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, to see what happens. No, I loved it. I was watching the National the National's been, just overloaded with Olympic stuff, and then the local CBC News especially. And it just makes me all whooshy-gushy, and I get all emotional, and I remember those events. And having been I was working at the arena, so I saw, I think, like 16 games in 12 days, and then of course the gold medal men's hockey was just through the roof. So anyway, I shot a lot of video, and I posted my video, my Vancouver Olympics, on Google Plus today, in honor of this Olympics. We'll see if it's as much fun for them as that one was for us. But yeah, it was just really the highlight of our living in Vancouver.
Okay.
And my husband said it was the most fun he's ever had in his life, and he's had a lot of fun in his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good times all the way around.
No, I was opposed to it until it got here, and I was part of it.
Right.
Just on the periphery, but I have to admit it was. I
think a lot of people felt that way. I felt solidarity with the protesters of the highway expansion, all of that, all the people that were finding people with downtown apartments finding themselves basically unable to put any kind of sign in their window that they wanted because it might be shown on television. Yeah. But then after it started, we just got sucked in, and there was just so much fun. And Vancouver, I have to say, the reserved British Columbians all of a sudden became open and welcoming, and everybody was chatting left and right, and the Canada line was like a rolling party every time. I wish they could have come back. I wish Sochi had fell through, and that they could have just come back here for another one. Or have it every time here.
Yeah, I'm good with that. So I'm wondering if these journalists who travel a lot have what kind of security they have on their laptops.
That's a good question.
Are we just too complacent about it? When I went to California, I brought my laptop and I scrubbed some stuff off before I went. And I was worried about it being stolen, that's all.
Oh, okay. Good
Not
idea.
hacked, but
well, they probably have been issued brand new devices that are clean. But then how do you get them to work with the networks over there, which might be totally corrupt and stealing information left and right. So I guess they just have to go in expecting that they're going to get hacked.
Yeah.
And at this point there's proof of it, so if they don't by now, then they should probably come home.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, I'll be watching just to see what's happening.
We'll see what falls apart during the opening ceremonies.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll see you. I'll be at your meetups.
Great.
So I'll see you then.
Okay. Bye, Bonnie. Bye, everyone.